Hi, this is Doug from Doug and Nikki here in the Indoor Technology Center, where I'm only going to be here briefly because this is a really important video for you. I am back from a 3-week-long exhaustive cool vlogging trip in Europe, and I used this extensively. We're going to zip right over to the footage from the trip, and I'm going to talk to you about some of my experiences, what worked well, what didn't work well, and overall give you my summary of what I thought of this after really hardcore using it. Hey, I am back with the M4 Pro, which I've been vlogging up a storm with. We went to Europe. If you go to Doug and Nikki on YouTube, you will see tons of video shot on this. And I have to say I was very impressed with some things. Some things were not all that impressive. Let's talk about all of it. So straight out of the box, the form and function and the feel in your hand is really good. It feels exceptionally solid. And additionally, it is not heavy, and it has an incredible battery in it. So I find it almost a little confusing how comfortable it is, how light it is, and still has an incredible amount of functionality. I think they're really making leaps and bounds in that direction. A huge advancement is this new quick release system here. Let me show you. This quick release system is awesome. You just put the GoPro in there, clip it on, and that's it. No twist ties, no screws, no all that crazy stuff. Super easy to work with, and it actually works because I took that GoPro in and out a bunch of times and it worked perfectly the whole time. Super easy, like 10 stars for that. I guess the gorilla in the room is, do you really need a 3-axis stabilized gimbal if you have rock steady on your DJI or your brand new GoPro with incredible hyper smooth? Do you really need this? And the answer is a little bit no, but mostly yes, because the thing that happens when you use those stabilization EIS in the camera, it requires cropping the image down, right? So you're losing some of the image and some of the quality in order to get that stabilization. If you turn that off and you get the full image, and then you could take advantage of the stabilization externally by the gimbal, I think you get a much better combination. The one problem that I do have with this particular gimbal when I tested it, and it could just be me, but I do still see, in particular when I'm walking, like let's say I'm doing a tour of a cruise ship or whatever, and I'm walking through the cruise ship doing the tour, I find there's a little vertical movement as I step. Maybe it's however I walk or whatever, but for some reason this doesn't eliminate it. So like I could swing it around like this and it'd be nice and stable. I believe I could go on a crazy roller coaster and it would look ultra stable, but when I'm just walking, the image goes up and down like this a lot and it really just annoys me. I'm not sure what it is about it, but it definitely occurs. Another great feature of this is the 12-hour runtime, which I'm telling you, Nikki had me running all over Europe, and I would put the GoPro in here and we would leave and I would go all day. I mean, really all day, really long, all days, and never once did I run out of battery. As a matter of fact, obviously I'd run out of many GoPro batteries during that course of time, and I would charge the GoPros off this additionally to doing what we were doing, and it still never ran out of battery, so the battery life is outstanding on this. Additionally, just so you know, it takes about 3.5 hours to charge it fully charged if you manage to wipe it out. Let's talk about the HOHEM app a little bit. I actually don't use it a lot with this because I don't really need it so much, because the GoPro connects to the gimbal so well that most of the functions that I want to use are right there, able to be controlled between the gimbal and the camera itself, that I don't really lean on some of the functions in the app. The app does have some additional functionality and it did work well, but I don't think it's as important because it syncs so well with the GoPro. The last function that I do think is really valuable to this is the selfie function. In case that wasn't completely clear, Nikki has rented us a cool side-by-side and we're gonna motor around the island and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that.
If you have your GoPro and it's on a selfie stick and you're walking around, you could turn around and crank it over, but it's so much nicer that you just like hit the button and it turns around and you're now doing your selfie style, and then boom, you go right back to doing what you were vlogging about before. I think that is so much better and really valuable. Overall, overall, I'm very impressed with this. The only little thing that annoyed me is that little moving when I particularly walk, but outside of that, everything else worked really well. It is super impressive. Again, it's hard for me to communicate that to you, but the form and function, the comfort in your hand, how light it is, are really impressive. The battery power was great. The connectivity with the GoPro was great. It was really good. So I'm gonna say this is definitely worthwhile if you wanna have that extra stable, buttery, smooth, cool looking vlogging or action camera, whatever it is you're doing. It all was really very good. I'm gonna give this a full 5 out of 5 on the Doug score. I hope that was helpful. We'll see you next time.